Hello everybody, it's me GeoSlave53 here for another Running Tux, and this video what we're going to do is talk about distro hopping. For some of you who have been in Linux for many years, there time to time you want to try a different distro. This one came out, this one came out, like you had Linux Mint 17, they came out, Ubuntu 14.04 LTS. Well, you wanted to try it out and go from one distro to another. Why do so many people do it? Why? Well, because there's so many out there and they have different flavors and different type of features and functionalities that make it unique. Some people will stick with one, but they see something that they like, they might try it out for a week or so, and then they go, I don't like it, I want to go back. Someone like me, I like to stick with one distro. I used to be a big Ubuntu guy, and then I went to Linux Mint for a good amount of time, and then now with Manjaro Linux now for a year. And I'm pretty happy where I am right now currently. It's Arch, it's XFCE. This is the XFCE edition that you see here on my screen itself. It works for me, but every once in a while I want to try and test out some other distros instead of just wiping my hard drive and doing it all over again, installing. It's just a pain in the butt. Now I have an external hard drive that I have Linux installed on, which is quite safe. So this way, if something does happen, it's easily removed. I could put in a different one and I'm all set to go. But you could do something that is alternative that could be helpful. One way is using virtualization, such as Virtualbox. Virtualbox, in my opinion, actually, let's put that there so this way it always stays on top. Virtualbox gives you the ability to install a distro virtualized. So you're not really configuring your own actual hard drive to actually test out a distro. This is a safer way of doing it. And on here I have several others right here that I use every once in a while. I'll erase it and put some new ones in. Like I have Manjaro OpenBox right here. And I'll give you an example. If I hit start, it's going to go full screen. And let's go ahead and push it right through. And if you see, it boots up like any other computer will boot up, and it will go into full screen mode. And there you go. And that's Manjaro OpenBox 0.8.10. And then here I could test out OpenBox. If I've never used it, I could test it out and see what I like in here, if it works for me or not. Click Archive Manager here and see how it works. I'm done, close, and I'm all set. As you can see here, it's just like if you installed it on raw hardware on your actual computer, but it's virtualized. So if you get tired, let's say, okay, let's log out, shut down. It'll shut down like how any other normal computer would, and now you're back to your main desktop. And just like any other, if you got tired of it, you could right click and say remove, and then you're done, and then you can start up a new one by just clicking the new button, and that's it. Virtualization is the best way to test it out. Now if you really want to test on raw hardware, it's always good to have that second computer. If you have an old one laying around that has a good amount of processor and memory and hard drive, you may want to try it on that one. It may not be as good as doing it in virtualization because you have everything else configured with the actual hardware you have already on your computer. But virtualize it, the only thing difference is you could adjust how much memory, how much hard drive space. The video card would be different. It won't be like a proprietary one like you're using on your computer. On mine, it has NVIDIA. It won't use NVIDIA. It'll use Virtualbox their own graphics. So there are some limitations in doing a virtualization. But if you put it under a raw hardware, it might be more helpful. For the different type of distros out there, the one site that I recommend, in my opinion, is DistroWatch. DistroWatch has been doing this for years and years and years. And actually, let me put it on this side. And they'll give you the news here, what's the latest distro, what new releases, and all that. And also on the side right here, it has the page hit rankings. Now here it'll give it to you either 7 days, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and then over the so many years up to 2002. And then it tells you the rankings if it's gone up and down and so on. Like right now, in the last 6 months, Linux Mint, it's #1, Ubuntu's #2, which is very rare. Now I've had some people tell me through forums, I've seen on other blog sites and podcasts saying it might be skewed. It doesn't make sense. How is this, quite correct, and with what it does? The rankings, I don't know. It's usually they go by request and search and all that, but I've heard differently. So it's kind of odd to see that. If we go to 30 days, let's see what it says here. Yeah, it's pretty much almost similar, the same. So it's not much we could do about that. But it's a good place for information on distros and all that. And it gives you a little bit more on ads and all. Now on this side, on the left side, actually, they do something kind of interesting, which I like. Latest distros right here, I'll tell you the actual newest versions, and they give it to an RSS feed, so that's kind of cool if you want to get to the latest and greatest on that. Then they also tell you the latest and greatest in the actual packages, which I like, and that's kind of cool. Latest version XOR server 1.15.2. If you go a little further down, Linux media telling you what's in the rankings, or who's most popular out there in the media right now is Linux Mint. If you go down a little further, the one I like is the latest podcast. They keep track of the various Linux podcasts out there and what's the latest ones that they came out and everything. Everything from Linux Voice, Linux Gamer, Last, Linux Action Show, Blender Podcast, BSD Now, TLS, TS, Linux Unplug, and so on. Good source of information for the latest podcast if you want to get info. Other than that, it's a great website if you're looking for whatever distros, if you want to check it out. If it's something that you like and you want to see, like, let's pick. Okay. All right, let's say Linux Mint here, 17XFCE. If you click it, it'll give you what the latest info that they have on that. They'll give you related news information to that. Then they'll give you all the links and the summary information to that site, and then so on and so on. So if you want to go to their site directly right here, they'll tell you right here in the download section, you click that, it'll take you directly to their spot where you could download Linux Mint. So it's a really great website. Bookmark it. That's a site that I would go to if you're a big distro hopper. You could get a lot of information about the actual distro itself. So I highly recommend this distro also, this website itself. So like I said, if you want to try out different type of distros, use Virtualbox. install it, try it out, read on it before you actually do it, see which one you like, and then go ahead and install it through Virtualbox, and then you should be all set. It's a good way to do to try out distros before even trying it out, because you want to see how it is before you put it under your own computer raw hardware, because you may not like it. Some people who are big XFCE fans may not like KDE, or if you're KDE, like the GNOME stuff, that's fine. This is a good way to try it out. Hopefully enough this was informative. Let me know what you think. Subscribe right below. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video and any other video. And hopefully enough soon I got some ideas on a project. I want to do a kind of a lesson project where I show you how you could use the command line. So if you want to learn how to use CD, I'm going to do a the man page. I can show you how to use CD and the different types, and then show you how to use it going through man page and so on. Something like this. Hopefully, this is a good project for those who want to learn how to use the simple command line functions. That's something basic that everybody should know when using Linux. It's also useful under any Unix type of operating system, so if you're also using Mac OS or Solaris out there, it's a good way to learn the basis of how to get around using command line, because you never know, one of these days you may need these specific command line tools to get you around if you're not able to get the GUI interface up and going. So hopefully enough this is helpful. Like I said, leave comments, let me know, thumbs up. Take care, folks. I'll see you guys next time.